Welcome back to Redneck's Dirty Hands. I'm Pete. I'm here in the shop with my sweetheart, Christina.
Hi.
We got a few things going on. She's just packing up some of our merch there. We got some new stuff out on the website there. You know, we got the sheet angle shirts. We got the trucker hats. A few different colors. We got blue, red, black, white. They're looking pretty good, And Christina's knocking it out of the park with the packaging on this stuff. You know, we've got our own personalized logo tape, the black boxes, top shelf stuff going on here, honey. You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate everybody going to our website, www.rednecks-dirtyhands.com, checking out our merch, getting some of the stickers, the shirts, the hats, all that, supporting the channel. You're doing a wonderful job, honey bunny.
Thank you so much.
Taking pride. This is all because of Christina. The attention to detail on these packages. Like, look at it.
I would want a cool box if I ordered stuff.
Right? Not only is the merchandise cool, so is the packaging.
Right.
So it's been fairly busy around here. You know, we're trying to get some of the merch orders all dealt with and all that. And then Deron's in here. His Chevy's broke down again. So he's farting around with that. And then my good buddy McLeanski, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any. So his little Volkswagen's broke down in here, coolant leak issue. I just fixed one of his vans the other day, the trailer the other day before that. So we're gonna be looking at his Volkswagen. I'm not a Volkswagen aficionado by any means. It's no secret around here. I hate them. Don't like Volkswagens, don't like Cadillacs. You know, I say I'm not a Cadillac fan, but I went out and bought one. Can't really complain. $600 for a Cadillac DeVille, you know, but that's gonna be the learner car for the kids. You know, they can field bomb that thing. Who cares if they dent it, scratch it, whatever. You know, it's all Cadillacs are really good for around here, I'd say. I mean, yeah, sure, Cadillacs are cool, classic luxury cars, you know what I mean? But they're a pain in the butt to work on, especially these North Star. Like, whoever came up with the idea of putting an all-aluminum North Star engine, that's the goofiest crap in here, you know, fire that guy. Why they just didn't put an LS in these things makes too much sense. But if you don't believe me, just Google changing a starter on your North Star. Yeah. You know, those Cadillacs were like the testing grounds for all these new technology, fancy features, all that stuff. Although that one's a 2011, still has ashtrays in every single door and all that. So, I mean, you don't see that anymore. But this Volkswagen here, McLeanski's, that's a 2012 Tiguan. It's got the 2-liter turbo TSI engine or whatever. And the German engineers on this thing are just as sneaky as those Cadillac ones. You know, the Cadillac guys put the starter underneath the intake on the North Star there. And I'm pretty sure the issue with this thing is the water pump. And guess where it is? Yeah, under the intake. So yeah, I've never tucked into one of these before. So this is going to be a learning curve for all of us all at the same time. German engineers. Gotta love them. Those sneaky Germans. Tried to take over the world twice already. But not all Germans are bad. Our good buddy D-Ron.
Yeah.
Squarehead, eh?
That's right. Old blockhead trying to get some electrical done on the truck.
Yeah, electrical, isn't it the most fun thing to work on, eh?
Oh, isn't it ever?
What are we into? No start, eh?
No start, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Funny issue going on with the key. You hit the key, it'll crank for a split second, and then it just kind of cuts out, and then you shut the key off, roll it back forward. Sometimes it'll go, sometimes you get nothing.
Yeah.
It's never a good sign when you got this kit out.
Nope. This is my new starter wire.
We're gonna do the Bluetooth key, the key delete.
This is what it is, the touch. Okay?
We're going push button.
Go and push button. Right? We'll figure it out.
So the old days, you know, the old carburetor days and the classic cars and all that stuff, pretty easy to diagnose and, you know, wire up your own little ignition switch and all that. But let's show everybody how we figured this sucker out. Yeah, give her a crank of the key.
Yeah, give her. Nothing.
So you're right now, you're hitting the key.
Yeah.
And we got nada. That sucker right there is the starter relay. So if we yank that sucker out, I got something that'll...
Yeah?
Oh yeah, make this easy.
All right, let's do it.
I bought this kit off Mac Tools there, my buddy Claude, and this is a master relay tester kit. This one here is, I believe, the right one we need for the job. So this guy here has got the same 2 little pins that are offset on this guy. It'll plug right in to the starter relay spot. You got the key engaged?
Engaged.
All right, check this out. Has its own little switch on there. Oh, look at that.
Oh, birds. Got some birds.
I think you either hit a bird or you need to change your belt.
Yep. Nah. I think I just leave that in there.
No, that's going to be your new key switch.
Just open the hood every morning, turn it on. Right?
I don't think so.
No.
And I mean, you only need it to start it. I mean, she's still running. You still got keyed power to everything.
Yeah.
It's powering up your computer, your coils, all that stuff. So
Right.
I think all we should do is just chuck that sucker right over your shoulder.
Yeah.
We'll just wire it up right here.
That's what I'm going to do. Don't need to go underneath the truck.
Derby daring.
Yeah. Derby style.
So yeah, you got your fancy push button there. So if you just wire,
Yeah.
you know, you got main power here. Wire it over to this side. You got your little push button.
That's
Click
it.
Away you
Boom.
go.
Don't have to, well, who cares about the key, right?
And I mean, beautiful rig like this deserves a push button start.
Oh, yeah. Look at it.
It's a race car, race truck.
Yeah. Grill is still in good shape.
The grill might be in good shape, but you got some speed holes going on back here in the wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, you know.
And like any typical Chevy, you carry a spare tranny everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You got some top-notch electrical going on here.
Yeah. Only the best here.
Just drill a hole right through her. That's how you get the wires out of it. That is definitely redneck engineering. I don't know, D-Ron. I mean, you're a carpenter by trade, but I mean, from the skills here, you should have been an electrician.
Oh, well, you know, a bunch of derbies. Everything ran off wire.
Derby daring. So what we got here is you got the power go from here, go in those wires, go through there.
Yeah. And there it is. Usually derby, I just use the wires.
Oh! Turn the key on. Oh, it's an official race truck now.
That's it. Nobody will be able to steal this.
You are officially smarter than GM.
Yeah.
And if D-Ron's insurance company is watching, no, it did not burn down because of this.
No. It's a protected circuit.
There's a fuse in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, baby. Well, D-Ron's busy fixing his truck. Looks like you're done packing up all the merch there.
Yeah.
So I say we can go drop off that merch, get it sent out to all the loyal subscribers, viewers, and then give me a hand and tackle McLeanski's Volkswagen.
Okay. I can do that.
Thanks, baby. Okie dokie. Parcels have been shipped, and Tim Hortons has been got. The missus is relaxing with her favorite ice beverage. So we're going to pitter-patter, get at her, and get going on McLeanski's Volkswagen here. And, you know, we're trying to stay consistent with the content here, but we do have a lot on the go, trying to get the property and everything all cleaned up in preparation for my dad's celebration of life. And I haven't really been wanting to do too many big projects until we get past that, you know. So, but I do have the golf cart down off the lift. Wild man Mark there, I was talking with him, and he was saying something about, I don't know if it's at St. Thomas Dragway or Grand Bend, but word on the street is they do golf cart races. So I think Redneck's Dirty Hands be a shoe-in for the win for golf cart races. So whether they'd let me actually run that one there, I think everybody else's are fairly stock. That one, far from stock. But that is going to be one of the next projects. My buddy Remington's going to come down because, you know, I'm short on time. He's going to help me weld that up, get that ready so we can test drive it. And then we're still going to work on the CF Moto, get that conversion going. But today is all about the VW. Ready to assume camera girl?
Do my camera duties?
Yeah, baby.
Let's do this.
Okie dokie, artichoke. So, honey bunny, what we are going to do, our good buddy McLeanski, like I said, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck. Everything's been breaking down on him. The other day he was out leaking coolant and the whole bottom was covered. So not 100% sure of suspecting it is the water pump, but you can't really see it. So first things first, the Volkswagens, they got this this water bottle up here. Now, unfortunately, those Germans doing everything different. This is my typical coolant pressure tester. It's got a thing you put on a rad cap, but nowadays rad caps are becoming obsolete. So I do have a few different adapters. This is a threaded adapter that'll fit most of the GM and Ford products, but it does not fit that because the threads are on the outside edge, not the inside edge. Fits in there, but you can't screw it on to nothing. So that is not gonna work. So what I did is I took one of my old pressure testers and just cut the end off that had the snappy bit for the cap. And these Volkswagens, they do have this hose here that goes in. So we're gonna pull that off. Like so. And we're just gonna put his cap back on. And then we're just going to push this fella right on here. We'll clamp her on. And then to make sure the system stays sealed so we can pressurize it, good old needle nose vice grips. Clamp that line off. And then we get to pump up. Pump up the jam. You don't know me. So most cooling systems run max out around 16 PSI or so. We're gonna pump her up to the 14, 15-ish. We'll go to 15. So put her up there. You can see the needle's already kind of slowly going down, which means we got a leak. So now we got to lift her up and have a peekaboo underneath. Oh, see? It's already peeing. So we got it up in the air, and that bottle was pretty empty, but with that pressure on there, she's already peeing. Hey, Volkswagen, European. Okay, baby, come on in here. Now, where is that even coming from? This is freaking ridiculous. Okay, so it is coming from way up. Like, you can't even see anything in here. It's all plastic. Like, there's a charge tube. There's this plastic thing. A couple of hoses. Oh, maybe can you see up in there, honey? Look right up through here. See that trail coming down that black plastic piece? Yeah, so you can see on that black plastic piece, there's a trail of antifreeze coming right from on top of it. So I'm going to assume that it's coming from that water pump assembly, which I've never ever seen a setup like this where there's like a water pump just bolted to the side of the engine. Then apparently it's belt driven off the backside. I don't know, like that stupid Cadillac out there, it's got a water pump that goes on the backside of like the head area, and it's driven off a belt off the camshaft side, which apparently Volkswagens and Cadillacs are very similar. Although there was a few years, I think Cadillacs were Volkswagens. So it makes sense. So I don't know. I've done a little bit of research on these things, and everybody says you got to pull the intake manifold off to do this. And I mean, this is the water pump.
Oh, wow.
That is apparently up in there somewhere. So this is where it's belt driven off the backside, and then you got your rad hoses that connect onto here. I think there's 2 more connections, and that's got O-ring seals that when you bolt it to the engine, seal it to there. But like, I can't even see anything remotely like this up in there. Everything's in the way. So maybe they are right. We do got to do it from up top, because I can't see being able to do it from down here. I mean, access under here looks tighter than a Dutchman's wallet.
Right?
I don't see any drain ports on the radiator here, so I say we got the pressure on it. It is peeing. I mean, let's just grab a beer and wait it out, let it drain. So we got it back down, unhook the pressure tester, and yeah, looking from the top or the bottom, I have no idea what is going on with this. This is gonna be, I mean, it can't be that bad. It's just nuts and bolts and all that, but I mean, why? Why do they make you do this? What was wrong with just having a water pump that bolted to the front of the freaking motor and just like, tickety-boo, here you go.
That's too easy.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to have everything's plastic here. So you got this top cover, it just snaps on with rubber O-rings or whatnot. Look, more plastic. So it looks like there's a bunch of dirt and crap all down in there. Critters have been living in here for a little while. So if we're going to be pulling that intake manifold off. We definitely want to get that dirt out of there, otherwise it's gonna all fall down inside the engine. I don't think McLeanski would like that. So
Probably not.
I'll get the air blower, and you'll have to engage your safety squints, honey. We're gonna be making a bit of a sandstorm here. So you definitely need a decent air blower with a long tip on it, baby. So we can get down in there. I mean, I guess we could probably take it outside and pressure wash it, but then, knowing my luck and McLeanski's luck, I'd freaking wash it and then the thing wouldn't start or something stupid.
Yeah.
So. We'll just give it what is it? The hook twa?
Good as new.
Looks much better, much better. See? Look down in there.
Oh, yeah.
No critter gunk. No mouse poops. You say it looks like I'm getting ready for surgery
Yeah, you
here.
got everything all lined up. No,
You got all my little picks and fancy gadgets and gizmos. Looks like we have a bit of an assortment of Allen keys and Torx bits up in here. So I think we got to take the air box and all that stuff off. So it looks like there's like a 5mm Allen bolt holding it down here, which is just rounded out, not coming undone. We're off to a great start. So that was rounded out 5mm. I got these fancy, I don't know what these ones are called, but they're for stripped out Allens. They bite good and hard. Yep. So that one's off. Is there another one? What's under here? Come on. Oh, come on. What is going on? Oh, there's a rubber push pin thing down in there. Just need a little bit of brute force sometimes.
What's that?
Rah, rah, wreck the place, right? We'll pop this sensor off of here. These ones, Volkswagens, I am not a fan of this style. It's got this little thing you're supposed to be able to just push it on, but for some reason these ones, they get dirt and everything in here, and then you'll pry it and it won't let go, and you think you've pried it far enough, but then you're like, have I? So then you get in there with a screwdriver and you give her extra jam, and then you snap that plastic bit off of there. So I'm more of a fan of the GM style ones and whatnot, but that's just me. Come on out of there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Oh, this piece does pop out of there. I couldn't see that. It's got a little tab there. You push that in, and I'm sure that comes out, but we snaked it around. So with the air box out of the way, I can reach down in here, and right there, that is the water pump assembly. So we're gonna be like Oak Island. We gotta dig deep into this one and see if you find the treasure, baby. Probably don't have to take this part of the air box assembly off, but this has got a bit of a sharp edge right there. I'm gonna scratch the crap out of my freaking arm on it. So it's only got two, I think it's only got two Torx bits holding it on there. So we might as well peel it out of there now. Just like so. Then we got this PCV hose, or it's connecting the intake. This right here, this whole setup, this big disc here, this whole part, and all this is your PCV valve on these engines, which if you ever have a Volkswagen or an Audi like A4, they have this similar style PCV valve. If it ever starts running rough on you or misfiring, change that first, because huge cause of rough running and misfires. You might think it's your plugs or coils or something like that. It's this guy.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just keep doing process of elimination and undo anything that looks like it's attached to the intake and that we need to detach so we can get it out of here. So it looks like we got a fuel line here that just kind of clips in. So we got a clamp on there to undo, and then it looks like there's a hard line going down under there, and I think it is a 17 mil. Yes, it is. So we'll have to undo that fella. Now, got to remember, it threads up, so it's not righty-tighty. We actually want to go lefty-loosey because it's sitting the other way, right? Is that right?
Sounds good.
No, it's wrong. Oh, there was a bit of pressure in there. So that guy's cracked loose, and then this one here. I'm freaking losing my tools everywhere. I hate these spring clamps. They're such a pain in the, you know what?
Patuka?
Yeah, pain in the patuka. All right, I got these fancy hose grabbers. I'll put this rag over here just in case. We don't want to get you sprayed with fuel too.
Not today.
So that's just a barb fitting. So then we got this fella out of the way. We'll dangle him up over here. Okay, that guy's off and loose. Nice one. What else do we got? This guy here. So there's an electrical connector there. Although that might stay with it, I don't know. We'll pull this hose off too. Not sure what this little hose is, but it's connected to something. We'll get it off. This electrical connector. It's a good thing we're videotaping this. We'll know.
Where everything goes.
Hopefully, right? Then it looks like it's got these two hoses here. Oh, she's not empty.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it's hitting the pan. Okay, and then we've got a couple more electrical connectors. This might be a main harness connector. Maybe we didn't have to unplug any of these other ones, but we got this green one here. And there's this fella. And then this big one. Oh, which I cannot do. That sounded like it clicked.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's those three. I guess I'll have to undo this tube for the going to the throttle body, and that's where this handy dandy fella. It comes in super handy. You can bend it and contort it into different angles, and you can still twist her like a screwdriver. So, you see that? Look at that.
Okay.
Just like so. Handiest tool. Scooter actually borrowed this off me the other day. He had a job he needed to get done at work, and he's like, "You don't have anything super flexible, 1/4-inch drive that make it easier for getting bolts started?" And it's like, "Oh, you have come to the right place."
I feel like you have like a tool for everything.
It's an addiction, really. When you grow up watching Tim the Tool Man Taylor on Home Improvement, Binford Tools, you know, when new tools show up, you gotta buy them. And then looks like we have torque bolts all along the top edge, bolting that intake down to the head. And then it looks like there's cutouts. There's like a little half moon cutout here. And if I look down through there, oh yeah, I can see, looks like there's a 10 mil nut down in there. We're gonna have to go through with a long extension. So it looks like there's a 10 mil on the outside. And then in the middle, which I have no idea how we're going to get to that one. There's one right under there that I think is the same torques as these guys here. So that's going to be interesting. So all these intake bolts, the torques, they're T30s, but like I got to get at that one, and then I got to get that one, and this plastic thing that was holding the fuel line is in the way, so we got to peel it off of there. It's a T30 as well. And then with that out of the way, I can access these guys. And one.
Two.
Sounds like the count stepped on some Legos there. Okay, so this bottom one, like I said, it is a 10 mil nut going onto a stud. So I've got my socket on there, but I'm gonna take my telescoping magnet and put it down in there to catch the nut. That way it doesn't fall down into the abyss and gone forever. Just like so.
Ta-da!
And then when you go to put it back in, you can use the magnet to get it down, hold it down over the stud and get it started. Now it looks like there's some sort of sensor with a plug harness down in there that I might have to try and undo at some point. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then there's another Torx bolt right there, but how in the heck do you get at that? This was going okay. It's like right in line. I think I got to take the throttle body off. No way. Dirty dog. I thought, you know, we were doing pretty good. This wasn't too bad so far, but then hit a bit of a snag. There's the two T30 Torx bolts going through the intake there, but there's no way to get a freaking bit on there. Like, I got to take the throttle body off, I think, because they're like right in line here, and my bit won't pass through. There's this plastic bracket with the two heater hoses going to it. Got to take it off. So I'm pretty sure we got to take the main intake plenum tube off here. So I'm just undoing the clamp down at the bottom. And it's got a couple of Torx bolts holding it to the engine too. So we got to unbolt like this whole plastic assembly. We should have had a beer. I think I gotta lift it up to undo a couple of the other ones down there, baby, and then we'll rip this sucker off of there. Okay, so this is the plastic charge tube we want to get out of the way. It's got a Torx bolt holding it to the motor here. I've already undone the one up there, and then it's got the sensor here. Undone this clamp, so use this guy, break the seal. Pull that guy off. Oh! Oh, isn't that lovely? That right there. That is engine oil, and that's a lot of it in the charge tube of that. That means his turbo and his engine not doing too good. That's a lot of freaking oil up in there. McLeanski, you might be on borrowed time here. Man, that is a lot of oil. I mean, most turbocharged engines, you know, you'll have a bit of blow-by and such. You know, get a little bit of oil in the intake tract, but that seems excessive. Can you hold the light too, honey? Oh, you are just the best. Look at you go.
Right?
I gotta get it off of the throttle body. Oh, easier said than done. Ah, like an elevator, up, down, up, down. Okay, we gotta let it back down.
Ooh, you got her.
Okay, we'll let that just dangle its way out the bottom. So now we got a little more room, but I'm pretty sure I still got to take the throttle body off the intake because there's no way I can get at those bolts. How does it come off? I'm guessing 1, 2, buckle my shoe. What size are those Torx bits? So yeah, this is a total, like we're foobarred here. I was able to undo this one by going in on a bit of an angle with the, a bit of an extension in a T30. But the one that's underneath here, there is no freaking way because the throttle body is directly in the way. There is a notch or a cutout in the bottom of the intake here where you're supposed to go straight in, but any of the tools I have do not fit in there. So I've got this gear wrench. It's a lockable head, so I've got it angled like so, lock it in place, and then we're going upside down here to the T30s on the throttle body, cracking them loose. We got to drop that throttle body so we can get access. So we got to back up. I think I can get all the bolts out of the throttle body no problem from down here, but I figure while we're down here, we might as well pop these two hose connections off the water pump, and they just have spring clips, kind of like this guy here, where you just get in to pry it off, and then it releases these guys, so we can pop it out of there. Now, you may wanna step back a little bit because as soon as I pop these guys off, we are going to get wet. I think I'll hit the bucket.
50-50 chance.
Drop something. There you go.
That is freaking locked on there. Holy. Oh. Not bad.
Bullseye.
We still got one more.
Oh my god.
I'm freaking tugging my hose as hard as I can. It's not coming.
It's not gonna stretch.
Oh.
Oh, you're like... No. It's been a casualty. Going fishing.
That ain't the first time that's ever happened. Okay, well, with those out of the way, should be easier to get at those bolts for the throttle body, and then I think we can do the rest of it from up top. Not once, but twice dropped it in the jug of antifreeze. When I started this job, she was full charge, and now she's flashing help.
Call 911.
Okay, got all the 4 bolts out of there. Oh, we still got an electrical connector though. Oh, nice one. So now we should be able to get at that other bolt, no problemo. And then the intake should come off.
Perfect.
I think we'll take the oil filter off just for a little bit extra access for pulling. We got to pull straight back on this intake, I think. Another dumb design, like the oil filter is screwed straight down. Like,
Yeah, I've never seen that.
you're definitely not going to be able to fill the oil filter when you do an oil change.
Right.
I think that's everything, so we should be able to just pull this. I think I got them all out. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. All those guys. But it still seems,
In there good.
yeah, it's wiggling. It's not falling off of here by any means, but I'm pretty sure I've got all the bolts out. But I think because this is like direct injection or whatever, the injectors are pushed in to the head too, so maybe that's what's holding it, locking it in. So I think we just got to hopefully pry it back without snapping it because it is plastic.
Oh.
We'll give it a bit of a wiggle back and forth. I don't know. Seems like something in the middle is still holding it.
Yeah.
What am I missing? Oh, we might have to go underneath one. Oh, I know what it is. I think.
What is it?
Fun fact, there's an aluminum brace that goes, it's got a bolt in the bottom there, and then there's a stud and a nut on the bottom of the intake up there. You gotta undo that if you want to get the intake out, apparently. The top one's just, you know, no problem. It's a 13 mil nut, but this bottom bolt here is one of these fancy, again, thanks Claude, Just North Mac Tools. Volkswagen has their own, it's like a spline drive kind of setup. I don't know if you can see that, babe. It's not like a Torx. It's very fine splines. So these are really fun on the Volkswagens when they use these for bolts holding the brakes on and they're all rusted to crap. Yeah, that's awesome. So we got to undo this guy up in here. It's a 10 mil spline drive, I guess. If I can get on there. Just like so. I think we should be able to peel it out by hand. You're putting this back together, honey.
Might not run?
That guy up there.
Oh
nice
my
one.
God. No, you've taken way too much stuff off, or I couldn't even put this back together.
No?
No way. No way.
I think you can do it. All right, so we can totally see the water pump assembly there now. Now I'm wondering if you could do this from under here instead of taking the intake and all that off. I mean, it is pretty tight down here, but like from the looks of it, I think I could get it out. But I mean, I've already unbolted everything up there. So now do we have...
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's moving a little bit better there. But do we have it still?
Abusing the other light now.
Yeah. There's no light safe around me. What in the devil is holding it now? Do you see what's holding it?
Tug on it again? And this is connected here. Will that have to be unhooked at some point?
Yep. Yep, it will. Oh my God. What are we even doing?
I'm just along for the ride.
Let's just bolt it back together and do it from the bottom. Because this is freaking ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Ay, caramba. This thing ain't even gonna run when we're done.
Right. Oh my God.
What the hell is holding it? I am definitely gonna forget to plug in something.
Right.
It's like the harness for the freaking injectors. So we got... Oh, somebody doing burnouts. Oh my God, had to undo all these injectors individually. What's the point? Is it JP?
Yeah.
We still got one connector here. There we go. Hold that like that, baby. Ay, caramba. Something else is still hanging on here.
14 hours later.
All right, well, you know what? Let's just put it right there. Oh, look at that, a water pump.
Did you get my chirping on your...
What were you guys doing?
Having some fun out there, eh?
Well, it is a rental, right? They do say drive it like you stole it, right? So...
Oof. McLeanski's valves are dirty. Holy moly. And you got these things. They could use a good cleaning.
What is this, an inline 4?
Yes, sir. Pain in the butt, that's what it is.
Because it's German.
Okay, so now we got this hose here that's bolted on. It's got a Torx bolt holding it down here. We'll undo it there as well. And then we should be able to just go after this one. I think there's another one here. And then we got to cover, this is belt driven on the backside. So we got to unbolt this cover, get it out of there. So I just unbolted on the bottom side T30 out of there, and then this guy pulls out of the water pump, but we need a little bit more access. So I'm gonna pull the clamp off of there.
Where's your light, honey?
Right here.
Oh, just so. There we go.
And then we can move that out of the way. So there's the cover for the belt. And there you go, tiny little belt driving this water pump on the backside. Isn't that fancy? Let me see the light, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's another one right under there. That one was loose. Now, it's a little bit of a weird design because it's belt driven over here. It's just bolted on, and there's this little coupler shaft on this side. So I got to try and wiggle it off and slide it back. Oh, she's on there, good. Well, she's coming free. Okay, so that's free. And we're just going to slide this belt, I don't know if you can see that, off the end here. Just like so. And then work it off to the driver's side. Just like so. Or
Tickety-boo.
tickety-boo. I'm wondering if that's where the issue was. See that?
Yeah.
So I bet you this is probably where it was leaking from.
Woo!
Or there.
That's why you don't wear sandals in here.
Yeah, show off them toes, girl.
That'll be $20.
So now, got to clean up the intake surface, clean up the water pump mating surface, and then we'll put all new O-rings that are supplied in the kit because we got the complete water pump. This is an upgraded aluminum housing instead of just the plastic. Plastic we're known to crack. Like, I believe that is what happened with that one. The top edge of it snapped off. Then the O-ring seal was allowed to blow out, and I do believe that's where it was leaking. So they gave us all new O-ring seals for the pipe ends too, and the water pump itself. So we'll change all that stuff, clean her up, and then see Bob or George. But we'll see if remember, hopefully we don't take too long in between or don't have any beers in between. We'll remember where everything goes.
I think you gotta do this first, then beer.
Yes, dear. This is a plastic little fingery wheel there. Got off I think Snap-on truck years ago. Works great. It doesn't takes off all the gasket material, cleans up the surfaces, and does not remove any actual metal material. So they're perfect for like aluminum heads and all that stuff. Doesn't gouge in, whereas if you use like a grinding pad, it would definitely take away material. Okay, and then we're gonna have to clean up the intake section as well. Now, look how dirty his valves are. Can you see that? This thing has been hogging oil like crazy, which explains, you know, we pulled that charge tube off and it was right full of oil, so.
I wonder if I can zoom in. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, running some sea foam or something through this would be a definite bonus. I mean, normally it would say, you know, stick some rags in there and so no dirt or anything goes in, but I mean, it looks like it's already full of crap anyway.
Right.
Jesus. So here we better do the right thing and actually plug the holes so we don't get random debris down in there. Those valves were open, so anything that falls down in there is going straight to Piston Town. So
Don't do that.
I'm thinking if I was going to do this job again, I would not bother trying to take the intake and all that off. I mean, yeah, it does. You know, I joked in the beginning thinking it was tighter than a Dutchman's wallet doing it from the bottom side. But once you take, like, once you unbolt the throttle body, I think you got enough room. You can pull all the bolts out of the water pump and sneak that sucker out the bottom. So, and I think I would rather do that than this. But we're not done yet. So, clean up these intake ports here. We're definitely going to have to rewatch our footage though and find out where all these little plugs go. So you can see what I mean. Where we clean for the water pump's cast iron. So you're not going to be gouging in the material or anything there. But the head is all aluminum. And those plastic wheels work perfect for cleaning all the crap off of there without gouging, scratching, marring up the aluminum. So these things are a must-have if you're doing gaskets and all that stuff on aluminum engines. So we got to make sure everything is all the same here. In the kit of goodies, we get this little coupler. It's already got a couple of O-rings on it. So that guy is going to slide into the end of there. That's sliding in there good, like a saw. And then they give us this sensor, which is that guy there. So one of these O-rings should be for that. And that kind of looks right. And then they give you a new clip to snap it on there. So this just has these tabs here.
Yeah.
Locks into that groove there. And then push the seal in. Oh, that's got
There.
forcing it in there, baby. So we'll get in here, pull that O-ring out of there. There goes JP. Oh, he actually did a bit of a brake stand there. And put the new O-ring on like so. So we gotta drop it down in there. Oh, well, that's a bit of a bugger. We gotta get it fairly straight, I guess. And we gotta get this freaking belt up on here. Well, this is ridiculous. You got dowel pins you gotta locate it on. But you gotta tip it down enough so you can get the belt on. It's like a little timing belt. You gotta slide it on the cogs, like so. Then we'll take that cover off of there. Push it back over. I think we got this thing all cattywampus.
It's not lining up.
Okay, so it's pushed in, the belt is on, and then we're on the dowel pins. So we'll get a couple of these guys started. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being crappy, this job right here, oh, she's hitting a 9.5 so far.
I was gonna say 11.
Oh, hokey dokey, artichokey. So we got the water pump bolted in. I bolted this guy on. Oh, we almost forgot this, honey bunny.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Why is it still got a leak? Oh yeah, we didn't put all the hoses back on. So we'll put that back on, and then we're ready to, I guess, loop the intake back on. It's going to be a treat lining up all the injectors and then plugging them back in as we go. But, I mean, I'm sure we could do it. And, of course, before you do it, you got to make sure you take out your protective paper towels. Otherwise, you're going to crank it over like, why won't it start? No word of a lie. I did that. Oh, yeah, I did that. Rebuilt my very first dirt bike, RM125. Took her all apart, rebuilt her. I painted the exhaust pipes and all that, and I stuck rags in the ends of the pipes so I didn't, because, oh, yeah, God forbid you get paint inside your two-stroke pipe, right? Put it all back together, kick it. Wouldn't start. Yeah. the rag was still in there. So make sure you take these things out. We'll wipe it down with a bit of brake clean, and then we should be good. It's bonus because the intake uses rubber gaskets, so we can reuse that. We'll just wipe it down, and then let's button her back up. Now, I'm already at a bit of a loss where a bunch of this stuff goes. Does that fit into there? Okay, that might be that one.
Fit.
So let's plug that one on there.
Whether it's right or not.
I mean, it plugged in, so it's got to be right. Yeah. This is just a... Oh my god, we're going to get demonetized because I'm going to be swearing.
Just bleep it out.
We almost already made a big boo-boo putting the intake on and forgot to put these things back. Whatever these are, splitters, dividers, whatever, they got to go in here before we put the intake on. So, one step at a time. I think we've got it pushed all the way on. Shit show? Absolutely. This is ridiculous. Like, you have to... All the injectors stayed stock. I don't know, maybe they're supposed to come out. Maybe it'd be easier if they stayed in the intake or something, but they were all locked into the head. So you gotta... The intake has steel tubes that channel over top of these studs that stay in the head, but you can't plug the injectors in first because you can't... The wiring's too tight. You can't get it over the top of those studs. So you got to get it over top of the studs, slide it in, and then plug all the injectors in, and then seat it down and hope you didn't trap any plugs or wires in between and keep track of it all. I mean, I'm sure if it worked at a Volkswagen dealership and you did these all the time, you'd be like, oh, it's a breeze. But when it's the first time ever dealing with one of these, you'd want it to be your last time.
Right? Oh my god.
And same thing, like I got a one wire plug over here. I don't remember where that went, so. But we got it there. I guess we could bolt it down, and then we got to put the throttle body back up on to here, and then we'll put new O-rings and the rad hoses, clip them on, and then we're that much closer, honey, to a beer break.
We definitely need one after this.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's all over except the crying. We've got all the intake mounted on. Surprisingly enough, found every connector that every plug was supposed to go into, so I think it will fire up, and we should be reading coolant temps and all that. We got to fill it up. We're going to be filling her up with turbo power. She's got a turbo on it. Might as well. This is 50-50, ready to go. So we'll top her up, and then we'll probably have to do a pressure test on it. If McClainski was not a good buddy, I would have told him to pound salt for this kind of job. We've been on it all day, haven't we, baby?
Sucked.
And this is universal long life coolant. It's good for all makes and models. And with a name like Turbo Power, how could you not use it?
It's gonna go faster now.
She is full of the turbo power. So we'll put the cap back on, and then we'll hook up the pressure tester one more time. Hopefully this time we pump it up and she does not piss all over the floor. Okay, fingers crossed.
What was that remind you?
When I was 12. All right, let's lift her up and check her. Okay, honey bunny. Well, we have got it back up in the air. I've got it pumped up to like 14, 15 PSI and no peeing. Whereas before, it was just pouring out of there. So, I would say it must have been that little section on that original plastic one where it's cracked out, blew the O-ring out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this upgraded aluminum housing one should stop that from happening in the future, and we are not dripping or leaking anything. I mean, it is plastered from everything it was leaking and the mess we kind of made, but I think we're good to spark her up, and hopefully it runs after
Right.
the piece de resistance. Put the piece of crap plastic cover back on the engine so she looks back to original, and then I will hit the key, spark her up, and hopefully nothing flings out of here, and hopefully it starts. Let's
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Like a diesel.
I mean, it was a part. It ain't running very good.
It is now. I had to poke all the antifreeze.
That's idling pretty good there. It's a little rough start up, but it seems to be idling smooth. So now we just gotta let it run, let the cooling system burp out, make sure it's not overheating or anything, and then we can have a beer, honey bunny.
Yay, finally.
So pulled it out towards the door so it can run and the exhaust goes outside. And not only is it convenient having it closer to the door, but it's also closer.
A little bigger.
You know it. Hey, like, come on. We deserve this one. His and hers. All right, baby. Fans are running. Means thermostat is run. It's done its whole cycle. The level's still in between the minimum and the full hot. So let's button her down there. I think we are golden. Except the only thing is, I gotta hook the scanner up to it. When we first fired it up, the engine light was it was flashing. She was misfiring and whatnot. I think it just wasn't happy being apart and put back together. But I mean, it's running smooth now, so we'll just check the codes, and then if everything's good, we'll wipe those out. Yeah. So when we first fired it up, the engine light was flashing like a Christmas tree. And yep, random multiple misfires, cylinder 3, 2, 4. So it was not happy being taken apart, but I mean, it's running nice and smooth now. So
Yeah.
I think
It sounds good. But
I think we should just slam the hood, take her for a test drive, and fingers crossed everything is smooth.
I'm sure it will be.
Okay, honey bunny, codes have been cleared. See, no
No engine light.
engine light.
Nice.
So now you've got my phone, so I'm going for a test drive. If I'm not back in 10, grab JP and come find me.
Volkswagen. We'll probably have to go find it.
Well,
I made it back under its own power, honey bunny.
yay. We didn't have to come find you.
No, and I mean, this thing might as well be a candy cane. She's mint.
She's mint.
Mint.
You
I
did a
mean,
good job.
it's still it's kind of peppy still, even though the inside of the engine looks like a coal miner's lung. Like, but I think as far as this job goes, we can label that a success.
Yay.
Yay!
Now don't bring it back for anything else yet.
Right?
Just kidding.
Alrighty, well, that is a wrap on how to change a water pump on your TSI Volkswagen Tiguan. I think it's the same for some Audis and all that. This plastic thing right here, I don't even know. Like, I'm thinking because it's plastic, that is, you know, broke on the top there, and the O-ring was able to protrude out like a little, what's a hernia?
Yeah.
We got a herniated disc over here. That sucker,
Yeah.
garbage. But I think after seeing it doing it, I think you could do that job from underneath instead of taking the intake off. This thing was not happy. We pulled the intake off and everything when we first fired it up. It was misfiring like crazy and all that. So maybe not touch that stuff. Just take the throttle body off, and I think it gives you plenty of room to unbolt the water pump and pull it down that way. if I do get another one and I'm dumb enough to say, yeah, I'll take the job on, I'm trying it that way. But
I'll be busy that day.
yeah, Christina's not going to help me that day. But maybe JP will. but you know, we're in the middle, you know, trying to clean up and get everything orchestrated for my dad's celebration of life. That's why, you know, the videos have been kind of spaced out a little bit. We're trying, planning, you know, cleaning up the property, all that. We do have the golf cart down though off the hoist. We're going to be welding up on that and getting that sucker ready to rock and roll. We are going to terrorize the town. Might need a tire sponsor because
right.
we're going to go through some tires. But we appreciate everybody viewing, subscribing, commenting, sharing the videos, all that, you know, going to the website, www.rednecks-dirtyhands.com. Get some new swag.
Yeah.
We got some She Dangles shirts out there. We got different colored
hats.
trucker hats or hoodies, stickers. You know what? We appreciate everybody, you know, ordering some stuff, supporting the channel. The more support, the more we can do this, the more content we can do, and we'll maybe make this a full-time gig. I don't know.
That would be nice.
It would be nice. But as always, we appreciate all the support, everybody tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and as always, take her easy.
Cheers. Mine's already open. Cheers. Couldn't wait.